when we look at ourselves as free creators of our own reality, and we look at our capacity to choose from any expression at any given time to form a pattern of that expression in our life, then in the big picture view, we are literally seeing our freedom, our free state of being. Because no matter what happens to us, we are still expressing ourselves in that situation. No matter what happens to us, we're still being ourselves under those conditions. And how we express ourselves and the meanings that we focus on in our lives, like I said, whether we're conscious of it or not, whether we're conscious of the meanings we're focusing on or not conscious of them, we are focusing on meanings. And that is always our free choice to shift our focus to a new meaning and to explore that meaning, to organize our thoughts and perspectives around that meaning so that our perceptions and experiences in life that are creating our personal life story are colored with those meanings. We really, really, really can choose the meaning of peace, or grace, or dignity, or confidence. And we can, or all of those. We can choose those meanings to whatever degree we want, make one bigger than the other, you know. We can do any combination that we want, but the whole point is we have this whole potential of free choice at any moment. Right now, you know, you can choose to direct your attention, the focus of your attention, on some beautiful meaning. Maybe beauty itself, maybe meaning itself, because after all, if we are experimenting with meaning, generating from the meanings that we're choosing to experiment with, generating our psychological and our physical life, then all things being equal and looking for the most obvious fact, doesn't that kind of say that the meaning of life is to create meaning with your life, to create intentional meaning with your life? Wouldn't that be the meaning of life? I mean, if there's one meaning of life, it is probably to create with meaning and create meaning with your life, which means to intentionally choose, to consciously choose the meanings you're going to create with. And I think you don't have to be like a psychic or a visionary or anything to say, if a human person decides, I am going to create my life with expressions of peace, I am going to find my peace thoughts, I am going to figure out what my disarming voice is, I'm going to find how to live in peace in my mind and study beside peace, with peace as a partner, as a companion. I'm going to see what that's like, and then I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to share it with other people and radiate it and feel it come back to me and see it go out and feel it come back. That's our free choice. That's always our free choice. So getting in touch with meaning, creating intentionally with meaning, those definitions, those thoughts, those perspectives and perceptions and experiences and then fleshing them out in this story. Our body will flesh out the meanings that we're living, and we'll feel it in our health or in our illness. And our story, the story that we live, will fill out roles, will totally fulfill roles that give us a chance to use those expressions that we're choosing. You know, that's our real identity. That's our real identity, is the meanings that we choose. If I choose to live freedom and peace, that's my identity, because I can take that anywhere I go. My identity is not a job. It's not that I'm a mother or a sister or even a friend or a wife or even a human. My identity is the meanings I freely choose to live. And if I choose freedom and peace, that's my identity, because I can be a peaceful mother. I can be a peaceful nurse. I can be a free-loving, free-willing human. I can. So that is, to me, the greatest gift of looking in the big picture, is to see that there is personal freedom there in the big picture view, and not only for us but for everyone. And we can look at each other different. We can look at each other as not just this limited, conscious, half awake physical self that needs sleep half a day every day. We can look at ourselves as this all awake, non-physical self that is constantly creating, even in our dreams, even in our night dreams and in our day dreams, that is constantly creating with meanings. We can be totally in touch with that part of ourself, and that's total freedom. There are no limits there. Any meaning can be chosen. Any number of meanings can be chosen. Any meaning can be discarded and a new one picked up. Any thought can be imagined in the psychological territory, which is the imagination. The psychological territory is the imagination. Anything can be imagined. All things are equally available without destroying each other, without, you know, canceling each other out. All possible things are there in the imagination. There is no limit to what we can imagine. And so that is our bigger life, and that's what's fleshing out in this life. That's what we're fleshing out, those meanings. And I love sharing this stuff, because this is how I came out of my hole. This is how I came over from the dark side, you know, of the expression department store, you know, and kind of stumbling. I really had to trick myself and kind of fall into the light, you know, over and over again, into the light side. And but when I stopped tricking myself is when I realized, oh, I'm on the light side. I've lightened up. So the reason I'm sharing this with you is because I have been in that hole, and I want to tell you what it's been like for me. And part of telling you what it's been like for me is telling you what it's been like for me getting out and getting free and getting freer and freer, and finding out more and more about love, because that's the great mystery. That's what we seem to be misunderstanding the most in this life at this time, is love, and I include myself in that. I want to learn more about love and choose that as a meaning that I live in my life. So come and sit with me again next week. Love ya. 'Cause we